Hi yogis, I'm Melissa. I teach here at Powerlady. Mondays at 8:30, that's a gentle yoga class. Fridays at 8:30 as well, that's yoga sculpt. Before we get started, we're going to do a short balanced yoga sequence. I do want to announce that on May 16th, we're going to have cat yoga here at the gym. We're going to have two classes because we expect the first one to sell out. The first one is May 16th at 4 o'clock. The second one will be the same day, May 16th at 5:30. And the money we raise will go all to cat rescue. So a good reason to come do some yoga on May 16th. So what we're going to do here, and you don't even need a mat for this practice, or really any props. We're going to start in table, shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, angry cat. Scoop the tailbone underneath you here. Arch your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, come into a back bend. Again, start at the tailbone. Lift your gaze last. Exhale, angry cat. Scoop the tailbone underneath you. Hollow out your belly, arch your back, tuck your chin. Inhale into another back bend. Lift your tailbone, work your navel down, lift your heart. Exhale, one more angry cat. Feel the sense of lift away from your mat, just by engaging your abdominals and by pressing the floor away from you. Inhale into another back bend. And exhale back to a neutral spine. Neutral spine all the way through your neck. So you may actually be looking down at the floor. The neck follows the curve of the rest of the spine. You're not doing this here. So you have neutral spine here, fingers spread. Raise the right leg toward the back wall and reach your left arm forward toward the front of the room. Hips are level. There's a tendency to lift that right hip. Don't let it lift. Right foot is flexed. All of your toes, including your pinky toe, are facing the floor. Left hand is looking at the right. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Bend the right knee. Bring the foot forward between your hands. Curl the toes of your left foot. Pick up the left knee. Take a full breath in. Exhale, I want you to hop the left foot about halfway forward, maybe a third to halfway forward. Now, straighten your legs for a moment, folding over the right leg. Now, walk your hands, and I'm going to turn around once I show you this. Walk your hands to the left. Turn your toes further out than the heels. And I'm going to do this facing forward so you can see me here. As needed, adjust your feet so they're in the same plane. Bend your knees, toes further out than the heels. Ragdoll up to vertical. Bring your tailbone down so you're not tipping it up toward the ceiling behind you. Scoop the tailbone underneath you. Work your knees in the direction of your toes. Arms are in goalposts. You'll see my elbows are in line with my shoulders. Knees work in the direction of your second toes. So if they're not facing that direction, adjust your feet if your knees won't go that wide. Couple more breaths. Let the fire build a little bit. And then inhale, straighten the legs. I want you to bring the feet parallel to each other and your hands on your hips. Exhale, hinge forward. Okay, so you're coming into a fold. Bring your hands to your mat or the floor if you're not using a mat. Walk your hands over to your right foot. So we're going to end up facing the front of your mat. Again, walk your hands towards your right foot. Turn both sets of toes to face forward. Bend the right knee and exhale to downward facing dog. You'll obviously step the right foot back, but maybe left foot back a little bit as well. If you need to measure where your hands and feet should be, come into a plank briefly. Shoulders above the wrists, straight line in the back of your body. And where you create that alignment in plank is where you'll keep your hands and feet for downward facing dog. Inhale back in to table. Shoulders above your wrists, fingers spread. You want a wide base from which to balance. Now on another inhale, reach your left leg toward the back wall. Reach your right arm forward. Level the hips. Lengthen in the back body. Palm of the right hand is looking at the left wall. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Bend the left knee, bring the foot between your hands, curl the toes of your right foot, pick up the right knee. Full breath in, exhale, hop the right foot about halfway forward. Straighten your legs, fold over the left. Couple breaths here. Pull the outer left hip back toward the wall behind you. And then walk your hands and turn your torso to face the right edge of your mat. Turn your toes further out than your heels. Adjust your feet as needed. If you wound up here with one foot behind the other, adjust, because we want them in the same plane. Bend your knees, ragdoll up to vertical, and again, I'll face forward so you can see. Knees work actively away from each other, tailbone down, toward or perhaps to the horizontal plane of your knees. Arms are in goalposts. On an inhale, straighten the legs. Bring your feet parallel, or even a little pigeon-toed, but just don't have the feet turned out like that. Hands on your hips. Exhale, hinge forward. Hands to the mat or your floor. Walk your hands over toward your left foot. Turn both sets of toes to face the front of your mat. Bend the left knee. So your left foot's forward, you're facing forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. And here, let me show you the plank from the side. I've got my shoulders above my wrists, straight line in the back of the body, not doing this. Okay, and this is where I want my hands and feet for downward facing dog. Heart and belly press back, tailbone tips up, shoulder blades broad. Now please bend the knees. Walk your feet forward toward the front of your mat. And then ragdoll all the way up to vertical pause. Especially after having bent your head down. So just take a moment before you do anything else. Pause. So we're going to come into tree. And if you want to come near a wall for support, you can do that. I even once had a private student who had a galley kitchen, and so she had the ability to put one hand on each counter as needed. So wherever is a good spot for you in your house. We're going to start with the left foot down. Bend the right knee. And you can do heel on the ankle. We're coming into tree. Root down in the left foot. All four corners. Right heel can be on the left ankle. You can put foot on the side of the shin, or maybe foot on the side of your thigh. Maybe. But keep the foot off the side of the knee, and keep the right kneecap looking at the right wall. You can do hands in prayer at your heart. I tend to do that, but maybe hands on your hips, reaching up. You'll want a drishti for your gaze, which is a spot on the wall or floor in front of you that can be a focal point. Or if you want a little more challenge to your balance, find a drishti on the ceiling for your gaze. Pull each vertebrae away from the one below it. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Strong, full, complete breath. Exhale, bring the right foot down next to the left. Root down in all four corners of the right foot. Bend the left knee. You can do heel on the ankle. This is strengthening for the muscles in your right leg and in and around the ankle and foot. So this is fine. Or foot low or high on the shin bone. Maybe foot on the side of your thigh. But keep that left knee looking at the left wall. This is a hip opener, so we don't want that knee doing this. It's looking at the left wall. Crown of your head's reaching upward. You're strong throughout your tree, not just the standing leg. We'll call that a minute. Release left foot down next to the right. Come to the front of your mat. Slide your hands down your legs. This time, though, legs are somewhat straight. Pull the tailbone up. Crown of your head looks down at the floor. And try to somewhat, without tipping forward, align your tailbone with your heels. Like in the same vertical plane as your heels. Now take a full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog. Inhale, knees to the mat. Exhale, cross your shins. Come on to your sitting bones, or however else you get to a cross-legged seat. Close your eyes. Feel the flow of your breath and the resonance of your yoga practice. Even though you've let the active postures go, feel what remains, the energy flowing freely in your body, mind, and heart. On an inhale, bring your hands into prayer at your heart. Exhale and release the breath out of your mouth with a sigh. Take another full breath in and exhale to open your eyes. Namaste.